And throughout the entire show, oh, who is that right there?
That's our founder. That's
Is that Blake?
Yeah, these
we
are
love Blake.
amazing.
I couldn't see with the glare.
These are some of our great initial giving trip footages, iconic pictures of him, and you can see the joy that he's sharing with these children as he's helping them, and it's giving a pair of shoes, it's giving confidence. There's so many wonderful things that come with that.
So great. And Blair, of course, Blake's been with us here a couple of times on the air, and he comes throughout the year, and the stories that he shares are just phenomenal.
Right.
So this is another one that I love, love, love. So I'm the proud owner of 9 pair of TOMS. Not only do I have 9, my husband has a couple, I think he has 2 or 3 pair now. I've given them to my daughter, my niece, my sister, my mom, my mother-in-law. Everyone loves them, so they're ageless.
Yes.
But this is this wonderful, fabulous, deconstructed Alpargata. And the Alpargata, first of all, for everyone to know, is the original.
It is.
This is where it all started. And $59, your price for today, free shipping and handling, and 3 flex pay.
Yes, we absolutely love this shoe. It's new for fall, and what they basically did was we took the Alpargata, we're creating a franchise, and we decided how can we make it a little bit more seasonless, so to speak,
Exactly.
So we put a cup sole in the bottom. You see there's a lovely chevron detail, so there's traction and durability.
Cute.
You have the pleated toe box as well as the asymmetrical toe, and you're also going to have our updated sock liner that we absolutely love. Look at this. So it's amazing cushioning right here. You have arch support, so you can literally wear this all day long. And if you want to clean this, you just wipe it with a little bit of, soap and water. This is a cotton twill sock liner, and it goes right in. If you happen to have orthotics or anything, you could stick that in as well. These are really a great shoe.
So fun.
And they're so comfortable and lightweight.
So comfortable.
They're so lightweight.
They are. I can't even tell you. And by the way, your colors are, so that was that beautiful navy. We have them in black. That's the navy that you're looking at there. And we also have them in the one that I was holding up, which is the drizzle gray. And their sizes are 6, 6.5 all the way to the size 11. Brand new. This is the only airing. We also have it available, obviously, as you can see, on your FlexPay payments, 4 on your HSN card as well. But you slip into the shoe. I'm someone who really always wore sandals, open sandals, never a fitted shoe. Half the time when I would buy them, they'd end up killing my ankle.
Right.
These
are so
feel
soft.
So incredible. I have, as I mentioned, 9 pair, from the regular slip-on to sneakers. Every single one of them fits the same
way.
So we should talk about that, because Blake always said, he wasn't a shoe company. He did not start as a shoe company. This whole company started just with a mission.
Yeah, exactly. Totally. So this is something that's a great material. It's going to stretch. It's obviously going to give in the width of the shoe, never in the length. But as you can see in here, there's a hidden gore. So underneath the flap, so this is definitely going to give, even if you're somebody who has a high instep or a high arch, you're going to be comfortable between the arch support and the stretch in this hidden boring detail as well.
And I'm going to pick up the drizzle gray, because I want you to see also the really cool, exposed seams that this has.
It is.
It's a very, very modern look. So when you look at it up close, you can just see that kind of almost a slightly slub look to the finish of it. And by the way, even turning it to the side, you see that it's just a very simple flat heel. And then this is the fun part, because I cannot tell you how many times I wear them. People stop me, or I see people, you see that TOMS flag and you're like,
you smile.
Drive!
You really smile. You just know that there's somebody who cares about making a difference in the world and, understands, and it's kind of something that you guys can bond over. I find myself being stopping and talking to people on the streets, asking them, and obviously, having worked for the company now, it's even more pride to talk about it, but you just are doing something by a simple purchase that is really changing someone's life.
Exactly.
And it's an amazing thing to be part of.
It is, and we just showed you the counter. We have about 100 left. That is it to go around, and very limited in the drizzle gray here. 12, really limited. 12 left in the drizzle gray. So you hear me talking about being part of the tribe. What does that mean? It means that for anyone out there shopping, whether you're shopping today or you shop with us before here at HSN with TOMS, you buy a pair, because how this works with 1 for 1, every single pair of shoes that is purchased a pair is given to a child in need. So you become part of that tribe when you make the purchase. But I say to Christina, we mentioned in the very beginning that there are like 100 different giving partners. So how does this work? Because people want to know, okay, so if I'm giving, say, this deconstructed alpargata, is that what someone's getting? Is that what the child's getting?
Right, and that is what everybody always asks us, and that is not the answer. The answer is we give shoes based on the child's needs, based on their environment. So what we very often give in the U.S. are athletic shoes, so children can, you know, play in gym class, run outside. You know, in a cold weather climate, we have a winter booty, we have a wet weather item for, you know, anybody who's in the rainforest. And most of our Central and South American countries will receive something similar as this. So it's a cup sole, a little traction, they can run around. And, you know, in India as well, we give it a pair of shoes that allows children to go to school because they need a black dress shoe. So things like that, we're thoughtful and we wanna make sure we're giving them something that they really need that can really help them on their, you know, day-to-day life. So it's really exciting to know that you're giving something specific for that environment.
For that environment.
Yes.
And so the giving partners are literally from around the world,
yes.
right?
Yes, they are. They are. So, you know, like I said, we have giving partners right in your own backyard. And again, those are probably giving some sort of athletic or a little bit more of a casual shoe to help children. And, you know, it's one thing that we can start to do. If you want to give back in the community and you don't know how to start, this is one simple purchase can be that, you know, catalyst to, you know, something great.
Absolutely, it's so true. So we're going to continue to take all of the calls here, but we'd like to share.